Yeah. If the situation is because of you, I'm left with being a victim.
So what do I do when my wife makes everything my fault all the time? How do I navigate that if we're here?
In what way? It's been since January. I believe it was in January of 2024. So it's been almost 15 months since we did this.
You just did all that math in your head?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, somebody could probably like go back and count and be like, well, she tried.
Right.
But I think it was 15.
It's been a while.
Oh, no, I for sure got that wrong.
Why?
No, because 12 plus 5 or 4. Shit. Okay, so like 16 to 17 months.
Has it been that long? Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
Yeah, I think so.
Damn, we've been doing this for a little minute, I guess. No.
That's what. Okay, wait. So before we get started on me, I have questions.
Okay.
What episode number is this, or what? How many are out so far?
76.
76 episodes.
Yes.
And you started this when?
December 2 years ago?
I was an early guest, so it would have been December 2023.
You're like a mid guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it not December 2023? It wouldn't have been 2022. No.
No.
So it's 23.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah.
So I think we recorded for a couple months before we ever released something, right?
Yes.
That's why it feels like
y'all banked for a while.
We banked for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got to the point where we were so far ahead. It was like episodes were going to be 6 months out. So I stopped recording forever.
What a problem to have as a guest or as a podcast host.
Right. It was cool, but when you start looking at like as we continue to grow and get more relevant, like if you and I sit down and talk about something that happened today and it doesn't come out for 6 months, people are like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Sure.
So I had to let it for months. I didn't record, let it play catch up, and now we're within a couple of weeks, so I can do a quick turnaround if we're talking about something important.
Love it.
Gets out.
Okay, 70-something episodes in. You're going to be at 100 before you know it. Do you like it as much as you expected to like it?
More.
You like it more?
More.
You're doing well with it.
Thank you.
Your branding is on point.
Thank you.
It's really good.
I'm getting goosebumps.
It's true. I literally went and looked at the page today, of course, to just kind of like brush up. And I'm like, every single time you have a different and I know you're like a sneaker dude, right? Mm-hmm. And honestly, is there enough of those in the episodes for how much you're into those? I mean, are those showing enough?
No. So that's been a topic of this conversation.
You bring different shoes. I mean, you have a plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, all I notice is the shirts are always different, and I respect it. They're on brand, and anyway, you're doing well, in my opinion.
Thank you very much.
Not that you asked for it, but I'm full of them.
Well, you were one of the very first. We can go back to the episode because I was clinging on to anybody that I could doing this. I felt like a fish out of water. Yeah. I was just saying an episode before, like 6 months ago, I didn't even know how to turn on a MacBook, and now I'm doing Canva, Squarespace, like building websites, doing all that stuff, and at first it was like this overwhelming thing where it was like, I'm not gonna be able to do this, maybe I shouldn't. Yeah. And then now it's like the most empowering feeling, like give me a phone in 5 minutes and I'll come up with some fucking heat for you.
Oh, I remember we were having conversations back then about speaking to the camera. So like not necessarily this where it's recording you and then, edited and so on, but you're speaking on story and things like that.
I tell everybody to do that.
Yeah.
Because of you.
Yeah, I got it from somebody else as always, but right.
No, I tell everybody when they're getting started and they start asking me questions, be like, do a minute story one every day for 30 days. Yep. I think I got to 14 and was like, I'm good. Let's go.
Yeah, it's so good. And it's been a long time since that recommendation was made to me. And then given the recent seasons of life and so on that we kind of touched on before, whatever, I have gotten out of habit of making sure that happens. And it's something that's in my mind of like, you need to fix that.
Yeah.
And I want to. It's not like a shame on you. It's just simply get back to that. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anyway.
But yeah, even to think about when we had that conversation and like just to where the growth and now and like understanding of social media or podcasting and all that stuff, it's like, man, it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, you're playing a different game already.
I'm trying to do this for real.
I think you are.
If you look back at the podcast, look at January. As soon as January hit, January 1st, I left working in treatment and I do this full time, and you could tell. So it's like I got rid of all that other shit that was taking in my mind, and like this is what I do.
Yep.
Which I talk about it quite a bit, but it's, in the recovery world, it might be a bad thing to say if you don't understand what I'm saying or try to how to harness it. But if you can take that addictive personality or whatever, or like the attributes we get from it, obviously bad comes with it. But once you kick that shit, there's a lot of the good that can come out of that.
Yeah.
The work ethic, the ability to just do something over and over again and to get a certain outcome.
Yeah, we're driven creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Stick it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, it's a powerful feeling to build something yourself and to know like there's nobody that's going to outwork me at this shit. Like this is me.
Cool.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So what's been up with you? Every time I look, you're traveling, you're hosting something else, you're doing something big. You're like the official CrossFit spokesperson now almost.
Oh, thank you. I'm there are many people who are probably more so that role.
Well, I see you out there in the front right now.
Yeah. It's definitely something I'm leaning into. So, that would be in the MC role at this point. So there's a bunch of different like voices of the space, whether it's podcasters in the space that podcast about it, or it's broadcast team that, you know, there's a lot of different, but as of right now, the role that I play in that space is as MC. So at these competitions, I'm on the floor calling this action and so on for the live audience. And so actually next weekend, that will be my first event that is a CrossFit Games qualifying event. So it'll be, a big opportunity, and there will be live broadcast simultaneously. And so it's just, so that then changes my role a little bit and adds a new layer to it. So it's really cool. I talk about it a lot, but like it was 2009 or 10. So I'm in high school. I graduated in 2010. I'm in high school and I see Annie Thorisdottir, which is, she's one of the Icelandic girls and she was one of the early girls in that space. Anyway, I see her on some YouTube video and you'll know this one, Dana Lynn Bailey. That was the first woman with muscles. I grew up in a small town in Oklahoma and women with muscles was not like a thing that you saw frequently at all. So Dana Lynn Bailey, I find her somewhere on the internet at Facebook, who knows what it was at the time. And I was like, that's cool. So I'm like, wearing her clothing and things like that. And now I've had the opportunity to like meet her and it's so cool. Anyway, so Annie Thorisdottir is like the next muscled girl that I see. And it's this CrossFit Games thing, but it's like on a ranch. It's really obscure. It's only a few years old. Anyway, I don't know. And I'm still not an athlete. I've still never played sports or anything like that, but it was so inspiring. I thought it was so cool. And so saw these competitions all the way back then. And then finally in 2013, I go to a CrossFit gym and I get the crap scared out of me because I'm not an athlete. You are, you know what you're doing. I'm going to get hurt. I can't be here. I leave for another 3 years. I'm still spectating this stuff online because it fascinates me. And then in 2016,
you still never got into it.
Yeah, no. It wasn't until 2016 when I went back to the CrossFit gym and I stayed. And so then I was a terrible mover for so many years, but I kept showing up. I was not coachable. I just didn't even understand. It was like, get the heat off me. Don't say anything. I don't know how to fix it. I don't even understand what you mean. Yeah. Telling me to brace my core is like telling me to stroke my unicorn horn. Like I know the center of my body, but what you want me to do, I have no idea.
Stroke my unicorn horn.
Yeah, just say like exactly like what? Okay. It didn't make sense to me and it scared me, but I was happy to be there. So this trajectory is so fun to think about because then finally in 2020, I get my first level 1 certificate in the CrossFit space. And I've now had the opportunity to attend many different coaching certifications, et cetera, and do it for a living, right? But then like 2 years ago, I think 2022 would have been the first opportunity at a local competition that I was given to MC it. And I'm like, I've never done that, right? Are you sure you want that? And they did. And then it kind of has caught steam.
You were made for that.
I don't know, but I love doing it. It's so cool because I'm so ingrained, even though I do have now almost a decade of actually being in it. Yeah. I have all of these years before that of just watching it from afar, being like, that is so cool.
You're like the Joe Rogan of CrossFit.
Oh, okay. Well, now we're
that's what he
maybe
did.
For you.
He watched MMA for years and years. Was a super fan, and then started commentating.
Yeah. Okay. I love the comparison. You know what? Yeah, you're right. That's where we're headed. Yeah.
Yes. For sure.
But it's a cool way to get to be involved because that's the thing is like even coming into work in the fitness space, I didn't come into it as a coach. I had coaching certifications with zero desire to do that role. I just was working for a brand in the CrossFit space. That's how I even got to Austin to begin with. So now to get to do that and be a part of events in that way is so special. Right. So yeah, that's part of what I do today.
That's awesome.
Very cool part of what I do today.
Anything MC I'm in. I love that shit.
You would crush. Yeah. We'd have to like school you up on the specific movements, standards, how it works for that bubble, but you'd be just fine. Yeah.
I got a couple MC things coming up to this. It's just fun. It's just like no stress. You know what I mean? You could just go up there and be loose.
I don't know.
I do.
I don't know that I could say it's
No?
no stress. No.
Really? Does it bother you speaking in front of people ever?
No. And in fact, I will say what's interesting about that, because when I get the opportunity to share my personal story, then that can, especially to a live audience, then the performer is off to some degree, like you're actually being authentically you,
Right.
versus when I'm emceeing, now it is this character that I'm playing, because I have a role to fulfill, and there's you know what I mean, the inflection of the voice and the, you know, it's you are performing,
Yeah.
and so it's you, but it's you performing
Right.
in a larger way than you maybe otherwise would. So anyway, I do feel some stress about it because my desire to do it well is really
Right.
high.
I get that.
I think
Yeah.
that's why, but I would say it's not stress-free yet. Maybe someday.
So like when I go up and speak, I'll notice like maybe the first 15 or 30 seconds, it's like I have to catch my breath.
Yeah.
Because it's like I want to come in hot with energy, and so I'll start going fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like as soon as I do it, I know I'm doing it. So it's like, all right, rein it in, deep breath, take
Yeah.
a sip of water or whatever, and then I'm good.
Yep.
But it's just getting that first little thing out.
Yeah, we call it first heat jitters.
Yeah,
Like for CrossFit competitions, or I say we, I've called it that.
that's good.
Yeah, like the first heat jitters of like, okay, what am I doing again? And yeah, sure, the slow down, articulate. Anyway,
So a big congratulations is in order. You are.
is that where we're headed?
I think that's where we're headed. You have a beautiful ring on your finger.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you and Jimmy.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I'm very happy for you guys.
Yeah. He's
You-
cool.
He's all right.
He's cool.
He's cool. We your boyfriend is making his run in wrestling.
Yeah,
and,
he's my fiance, but yeah.
I'm sorry. What did I say?
You said your boyfriend.
Oh, boy.
It's
Okay.
still,
I'm
most
sorry.
people still say that.
Apologies.
That's okay.
Yes, your fiance.
Yeah.
And we got to go watch him. You were out of town doing the CrossFit games.
That's right. The one you came to, I wasn't there for.
So we got to go, and you speaking about being a commentator. So I love talking to Jimmy because Jimmy is a wrestler to be a superhero for kids.
Yes.
And it's funny how I go to that and I'm instantly transformed back into this kid where it's like, and I'm so excited to just sit there and watch wrestling. And then I have my wife there. She doesn't get it at all.
Totally.
And she's just sitting there like, and then like I'm all geeking out over it and stuff like that. And so then I start playing the dream over in my head. I was like, man, I could do this. I could start training. I could start doing this. But then it dawned on me. I was like, they're recording this. I wonder if they have an announcer. And then I started thinking. So I DM'd him.
Did you?
The guy. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I shot my shot.
I love it.
Haven't heard back. But
And when I say Dustin, I mean Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah.
He has Rhodes Wrestling Association, which is who puts these monthly events on in Austin, Texas. He was Gold Dust back in the day.
Yeah.
He's still in AEW today. He is a legend in the wrestling space.
Absolute
the whole
legend.
family.
Yep.
And he has been a delight to get to know.
I bet
He is a good human.
I sat there and I didn't realize he was part of our club either. But I sat there and talked to him at the event like he was just any other dude, just super cool as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, this is cool as shit.
So cool.
And if it wouldn't have been that cool of a conversation, I don't think I would have had the guts to DM him and be like, hey,
Yeah.
let me throw my name in the hat for this if you need anybody.
Yeah.
And then it was funny. There was Hulk Hogan came through recently,
Okay.
came through town,
Uh-huh.
and they were promoting his new, that All American beer or whatever, Real American beer, I think it's called.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't have a clue.
So Jasmine, my wife, tells me, hey, Hulk Hogan's going to be in town tomorrow. He's going to be at the gas station in Kyle. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. There's no way.
Yeah.
And so he was going to be there at like 10. He was going to be there from 10 to 12, and I had therapy at 11. And so I'm sitting there like, man, maybe I don't go to therapy. And so I went to therapy, and I go flying over there to meet Hulk Hogan. I get there, and they had just like closed it off to where he wouldn't take anybody. And so then I sit there and I talk to this one guy, and he tells me where the next place they're going is. So I go there. My buddy met me. But it was just funny because you've never seen more 30 and 40-year-old geeked out dudes standing in line midday on a weekday, so stoked to see fucking Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
But no one gave a shit. We were just all like, holy shit. But it was
you say I've never seen it. I went to WrestleMania in Vegas,
saw
or
it.
the weekend around it. Jimmy went to the actual event. I did not go to that, but I went to WrestleCon and WrestleWorld. And you say I haven't seen so many
You've seen him.
30-year-old men.
You've seen it more than I
have
have.
seen it, yes. And it's so awesome. It is coming into that world, because I did not grow up watching pro wrestling. And so I knew nothing about it. And then dating Jimmy, it was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to figure this out. And I completely understand Jasmine, and it's helpful for me whenever friends bring friends for me to be like, hey, this is probably not going to make any sense. So let me give you like a quick little rundown that maybe might be helpful.
Right.
But it is so true that once you get into the culture of it and then you understand the flow of how it works, I cannot believe how much of a fan of wrestling I am. Like it's funny because for a while it was like, I support Jimmy, so I'm here and I'm his biggest fan.
Right.
And now I'm like, no, I'm an actual wrestling fan.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. It's fucking, it's cool. It's a grown soap opera. I was trying to explain that aspect to her, and she can't get over the aspect that she wants to hang her out on. It's fake.
Yes.
And I'm like, if this is where we're starting the conversation, we can't even. If you can wrap your head around reality TV and it not being scripted and all this, but you look at this and you can't understand this, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But
I think it takes a decent amount of exposure to it for most people probably to like overcome that. It was definitely funny while we were in Vegas. We were at Dragon's Lair. You've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was listening to a guy talk to the front desk girl, and he was saying that she was asking if he was there for that because of course so many people are there for that weekend, and he's like, no, I like, I go to an MMA gym and it's fake and I like real blood, and like it took everything in me to not be like, excuse me, I'm engaged to one and it's real blood.
Yeah,
it's real blood, I deal with it. It's real blood, So as much as, yes, there is this soap opera component to it, there's this storytelling component to it, which then just means you need more talent because not only are you doing whatever sort of physical thing you're doing, which it's very physically demanding, but you're also acting along the way and cutting all these promos. And I mean, like the actual skill, the breadth of skill is, I just have been like, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, people don't quite understand because you could turn on WWE or like a high level and be like, oh, that doesn't look like anything. Go look at people that don't know how to wrestle like that.
Yeah.
And then you understand they make it look easy.
Totally. Totally.
They ain't nothing easy about that shit, selling that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Doing all the flips, doing everything they do. It's crazy.
I mean, this has to have been brought up to you. What happened?
I had to chime in.
Go ahead.
The easiest way I've ever explained it to somebody else who just doesn't get it is like it's as if you're watching the stunt guys in your favorite movie go at it.
Mm-hmm.
They're the top guys in the industry, and like if the movie's bad, then you know the guys are bad. But these are the top guys, and they're doing it. You're just watching them make the movie live.
That is a very good analogy.
Like if there was a crew here with lights and different cameras, then you'd have the movie that you love, we love watching action movies. It's like you're watching it being made.
And you're doing it in one take.
People
yeah.
Yeah, and you have one opportunity to get this right.
Yeah.
We're not resetting the scene.
Exactly.
And dude, and a lot of
the easiest way I've ever explained it to anybody.
Yeah. I can see that.
And there's a lot of the guys that are doing on call, like in the ring. They're just calling it in the ring. They're not.
Oh yeah, they're adjusting for sure.
Like all the old.
No, that's good.
You're
good. Yeah.
All the old school
Sounds like
guys.
you're a fan.
All the old school guys would just call it in the ring, like they wouldn't have any. They talk about it all the time.
Any sort of plan in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, this has to have gotten brought up for you before, but like, I mean, it just seems like a clear-cut lane for you.
Are you encouraging me to be a pro wrestler?
I mean, I just don't see how it doesn't happen. I don't see how it doesn't happen.
For the record, Dustin did say, what's your rate? Yeah, I've been encouraged heavily to start training. I don't have any appetite for it today.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would, I'm just saying, do whatever makes you happy, but you would fucking crush.
I so appreciate that. And I'm not going to say never because, of course, we're humans and we change our mind. I've done that enough to know that that's how that works. But at least today, I mean, my fandom has grown substantially, right? And understanding of it all. So that does change things. But I'm always looking at any sort of physical endeavor for like, what's the risk associated and do I deem it to be worth it for me, And so since I train clients and I'm, being fit is important to me and being healthy and being uninjured is important to me.
Yep.
But as soon as I say that, I still put myself in situations that injury could happen all the time. So I just have to decide which ones are worth it to me.
Right.
And I have yet to feel like that one is worth it to me, but it's been a very common encouragement. And thank you so much because I feel like that's like a compliment.
It absolutely is.
And yeah,
do you know what percentage of women in the world could do that? Like, I don't think it's a lot.
It's yet again, it's so the ones who can really
I'm not hating on women at all. It's just not a big thing.
No, No, because the skills and the strength. I mean, it's no joke. It's no joke. You look at like the Rhea Ripleys and stuff, and you're just like,
she's my favorite.
Yeah, and Jade Cargill.
Yeah. I thought you were saying Jade Hollywood.
No,
the
Jade
one
Cargill.
From the show. You know what I'm talking about? Wrestlers.
No.
That show that came out last year, it was called Wrestlers on Netflix, and it followed the OVW. It was like the first ever old Al Snow's wrestling organization. Yeah.
No, I know nothing about it.
Oh, it was a pretty big show.
I've watched a lot of wrestling shows in the last year, but I haven't seen that one.
They didn't watch Wrestlers?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mick Foley went back and is helping them now because Netflix kind of put him on the map. It's in Ohio.
Okay.
Anyways, where was I going with that?
Just you were making the subtle
how
suggestion.
could you be a wrestler? But I just, you already being in incredible shape that you are, it just so happens that you currently have employment right now on the microphone practicing. I mean, I just feel like it's the easiest segue, right?
It's so funny. I get a lot of encouragement for it, for sure. And it is very, like, I take that as a very high compliment. Like, that is such a high compliment. But yeah,
that's absolutely how it's meant. How upset would Jimmy be if he just worked this hard forever to get in there, and then you just one day just get signed the WWE first day?
I strongly believe he will be signed very soon. So yeah, so like he's got it. Like
you can't not look at him and not know that that's in the very near future.
You think so?
Oh my God.
Because I feel like I'm so in love with this human that I'm like, he could literally do anything, right?
Okay.
But I also learned quickly. I mean, it was very, very early in us befriending one another when I was like, yeah, you're an alien is what I called him. You know, like I'm like, you're so abnormal. You look at all that you already have accomplished. It's incredible. So yeah, I'm hopeful everyone sees that as well, because obviously, but then the people that tell him that know what they're talking about, that tell him, that affirm that, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is really happening.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
So there's been a big theme in my life. You know, God is a huge theme in my life right now, and everything that's going on. There's so many things going on in my life right now that are so like crazy good. It's just like, how is this happening?
Yeah.
But I can take a step back and see God's been architecting this shit the whole time.
Yeah.
And so even like coming today, it's like everything I've done in my life, like leading up to me doing the podcast, has prepared me to do this.
Yeah.
The experience, even the way I dress or anything like that, being noticed on camera, like all that's a thing.
Yes.
And it's like I've been training for this shit. I didn't mean to, but
right.
But it's like every single aspect of this I've trained for at some point in my life, like overly trained for it and stuff like that. And so it's like someone like Jimmy, someone like you, like Jimmy's destined to do that shit. He's been training for this shit his whole fucking life. And so I was having a conversation with a buddy yesterday, and he's a musician, and we were sitting there talking about inspiration and all that. And he was talking about the feeling he would get of his like, man, like, I think it's, you know, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? And I was like, yeah, I've thought about that, bro, but I operate like, I know it's going to happen. Like, it's just, I just need to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's not a factor of if it's going to happen, it's when. And I feel like with you and Jimmy, it's absolutely that too.
Yeah.
Like,
thank you.
it's just when it's going to happen. You two could do anything, especially together.
Yeah. Well, it is so cool too for the both of us that when we first started dating, I had relatively recently moved into an apartment that we would later discover was mold infested, that I would then become very ill while living there. So my quality of life gradually declined.
Did you get some money for that?
Not yet.
Okay.
I may not. We'll see. Yeah. It was a bad situation. No, that's okay. I mean, it's something that if someone is in that situation and gets screwed over, they should, absolutely, I would say, pursue that. But anyway, and then very shortly after, like we met and we started hanging around one another. He goes to I always get the name of it wrong, but the national championships annually of powerlifting. And at that point, it's a side quest. He's pursuing the pro wrestling primarily, and he's training jiu-jitsu a lot. He's training at New Wave at the time, and so he's doing a lot of different things. He's performing at a very high level, and then very shortly after that, another knee injury, big one, surgery needed, big injury. So it's cool because we've now been dating for a year and a half, I suppose, at this point.
And overcome a tremendous amount of adversity together.
And just, it's incredible because like having to watch him go through that season of injury and coming back out of it. And I had all of this awareness of how he showed up in the past and the past injuries that he's overcome. And although I wasn't present for those, like I've heard the stories, I've watched the YouTube videos, you know? So I'm like, I have a lot of evidence that this guy's like not going to let this like take him down, you know, at all. And it sure didn't. And it was really, really cool to spectate. He was
back in a fucking blink.
He's already squatting almost 500 pounds.
I know.
Ass to grass.
I follow.
It's insane.
I follow.
He's in, and it's not even in June. It will be 1 year post surgery. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a freak. He's also the most disciplined person, which is why we get to call him a freak, because he takes it so seriously. Anyway, so that happens. And then of course my illness situation occurs and we're still very in the thick of that journey. But the point of all of that is like, even with those hurdles, he's still like the most capable, impressive person to get to like collaborate with in life. So we've gone through hard seasons for him, for me, you know, for us together. And I'm like, it'll be interesting. You know, I feel like we're in a good season now, even though we're both fighting this mold stuff still. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be crazy to experience those things because it's always been within him and it's always been so obvious to me. But he's had to slow down, you know, all of that preparation that you talk about. And of course, that was like my perspective on it this whole time is nobody ever wants to deal with injury. But I'm such a firm believer, and I'm saying this about him, but I believe it for me. I believe it for you, you know, that however long it takes, it's, you know, God's way of doing the preparation, you know, like he's going to give it to you when you're ready for it kind of thing. And I don't know, that just provides me a lot of peace and I believe it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah. So with that, it was like all of these things, all of these relationships that he's built, all of these different training domains that he has been able to achieve at a high level, like all of those different things are just stacking towards, and even like that adversity piece, the injury piece, or any form of adversity, it's like that's giving him more access to more humility or whatever. And I don't mean to speak for him, but I just see all of that and I'm like, you're going to be that much more ready for the opportunity when it presents itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, I'm curious how you guys navigate it, because in my household there's one, with you guys there's two. So of our relationship, my wife's the homebody. Yes. She's the quiet one, you know what I mean? She likes being in the background. I like that too. Yeah. It just so happens my way of doing things is using my experience, so I have to get out and do it. Mm-hmm. But it's been the most rewarding thing I think I've ever done, building the brand, building the podcast, the social media and all that. Mm-hmm. But it takes so much fucking capacity and fucking time, and especially when you have the learning curve of not even knowing how to turn on your MacBook. Starting there, it was tough.
Right.
But me being me, like, there's no hour that I won't get up to do this shit. This is all I do every day, and I will get good at it, and I have gotten very good at it. And so, but in my life, it's like the better this becomes over here, and then I can build up I Am Redemption and continue doing that. This suffers over here. You know what I mean? And so then I come back over here and I put all this time and energy into that. And then obviously then I feel like I'm losing on this. And so it's a full-time job if you really want to do a podcast, but then you're also talking about social media and building out your website and all this shit. And so I'm busy with all that. You guys are busy people, and you do all that stuff on top, and both of you guys do it at a fucking really high level. So like, how do you guys balance that together? Because I don't even know how you guys see each other just as much as you guys do. Yeah. Not even accounting all the hours it takes to edit these videos and fucking do the content and all that stuff. So how the fuck do you guys balance that shit?
I appreciate the compliment, and the truth is I don't know of any high performer or person that's pursuing something of theirs like passionately that's a fully balanced individual, you know? Good. And so I just don't believe in the balance concept personally. I believe in seasons of life for sure. And what is actually a priority to you will become evident in your actions, right? So then, but you get to be human, right? So maybe you don't sufficiently prioritize the relationship for a period of time, and then you experience the consequences of that, whatever they are, and hopefully they're not grave, and then you can go and you can adjust, right? Reprioritize. Oh, okay, I was dumping too much energy over here, neglecting this, and now I'm not liking what's happening over here. I don't like the way that I'm treating you. I don't like how little I'm seeing you, whatever it is. So what am I going to do, right? Agency again. It's not ever their fault. It's always on me. And so that, because I can do something with that. So I don't have any answers for any of it.
Man, hold on. Did you just say that again?
As far as the agency bit?
You said it's never their fault. It's my fault.
Always. I can't do anything if it's your fault.
Right.
Yeah. If the situation is because of you, I'm left with being a victim.
So what do I do when my wife makes everything my fault all the time? How do I navigate that if we're here?
In what way are you contributing to the problem?
I'm just sitting there minding my own business, but I might not even have been there, but somehow
Well,
it'll
maybe
be my
minding
fault.
your own business is not sufficiently giving her the attention that she is craving, right? Yeah, and I don't know, and it's tough. So yet again, I want to be really
I'm
clear.
joking.
Yeah, I know you guys are awesome. She's freaking awesome. Shout out Jasmine. And so I don't know, but I do think like, yeah, that just gives a lot of, so we're figuring it out as always, right? Like we both do a lot of different things. Thankfully, certain things that we do are complementary. We frequently converse about how we can weave more of that together over the course of time, because thankfully he's the coolest person that I know and he likes me fine, right? So how can we do more of what we do together? Our worlds are so complementary. We are both coaches. We are, so those things are handy. We have now, my podcast is now our podcast. And so
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
a clip of you guys yesterday, but I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the last probably 20 episodes, certainly 10, but I think we're getting closer to 20, have now just been the two of us riffing on health, fitness, whatever we want to talk about topics. Yeah, because I needed to pivot from last year, and my podcast has just been, it was started because people told me that I needed to do it, right? And I was like, okay, whatever. And it's, so for 90 something episodes, I think it was maybe 92 or something. It was with different guests each time. And of course you were a guest on it, and it has been, and that was like such a cool iteration of it. And yet again, I get to change my mind, right? Like cool little out for life. But
I like how you just said that, and I hope people pick that up. You said I get to change my mind.
Yeah.
Not I have to, I get to.
Yeah. And that, like, there's just so much freedom in that. And if I think that as soon as I think I'm one way, I'm going to change my mind. I've done it so much. I hope I do. Anyway, so the reason we changed it is simply because at the end of last year, I had to look at all of the time that I was dumping in all of these different endeavors, right? We do a lot, and going, how can I make these align more with my business, because I'm not giving that enough attention. And as much as I love this podcast that I do, and it's such a cool container, the hours in scheduling with the guest, you know the drill, right? The actual recording. Most guests often want to spend a good bit of time after the podcast conversing, spending time with you. And then of course you have the editing and the uploading and all of the different things, the preparation for, so that was eating a lot of my time. And so I just had to go, this is not as well aligned as it should be in this season of my life for growth of my business, which I need to do a better job of prioritizing. So then it was Jimmy and I could sit down and talk about health and fitness, which we both run coaching businesses, where we offer both in-person services and online. And so it was like, this makes more sense, right? We can now show up as, instead of me interviewing a person, which I love doing, and those episodes are amazing, instead then we can be the experts, and talk about our perspectives on these different topics, since that's what we do.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. But I think with the two of us, when it comes to, I just come back to anytime, because even right now, right, we are busy. And so I'd be lying if I said that it was perfect. It's just, I just don't think that's a thing. But I can always look at it and go, say that I don't think I'm getting enough of his time and attention or whatever, then what am I doing to make that happen? Am I sufficiently planning? Am I asking for it enough? Am I communicating sufficiently? And thankfully, he's a wonderful human who's very receptive and certainly wants to do things when I ask, And so anyway, he doesn't, I don't know.
Do you think that is, I think that's a very rare outlook that you have.
Well,
Hold on one second.
Okay.
I'll forget this. My memory is going bad.
You tell me what you want me to do, because I have another one and I'll riff on it if you let me.
What did you just say?
In regards to asking for things whenever, communicating sufficiently.
Go ahead. Forget where I was going.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
The other detail that I think is really important to remember, for me to remember when we both get so busy, I chose a human who's obsessed with his goals, who dumps a ton of time and energy. And I'm not perfect, and I never expect him to be perfect, right? And so I have to catch myself because my expectations and reality are out of alignment all the time, right? And I'm a selfish creature by nature. Like I'm not, I just have to check this thing when it's telling me a storyline and be like, is that your self, just trying to run the show, whatever. And I chose a human who is so obsessed with his pursuits that I want that human to go do that. I would so much rather be inspired by him than be sitting beside him all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck, I lost it again.
Oh no.
Son of a bitch. What was I gonna say, dude? Do you remember? When did you come in here? Holy shit.
Well, okay, we went being a partner. We talked about the communication thing didn't trigger it for you, and then I talked about it's in regards to like spending time with one another, prioritizing the relationship.
Your outlook, the fact. So I was going to ask you, do you think it's you being in recovery that gives you that outlook? Because most people, their first thought wouldn't be turn it inward and say, "What am I doing?" So if you weren't in recovery, do you think you would have that type of outlook?
If I didn't have a spiritual life, Jimmy would not be in my life. He would not tolerate the way that I behaved before I had recovery and a spiritual life and actually worked towards God reliance.
I like it.
So yes, no, I mean, all of that, like recovery is what taught me all of that. And it's what still teaches me. And it's why I stay plugged into my community locally, that they continue to teach me, because I need to be fed and fed and fed these reminders, because my brain and my ego and all the crap that goes on, like, it's just, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think plugging in to a community that can help you see those things is, yeah, I wouldn't have any of these perspectives that I have today if it wasn't for that. Right. But I think what's so cool about that is, as much as the community with others is an essential piece of it, it's also just literally taught me to seek God in prayer, in meditation, in whatever that looks like for me. Today that I get to say this too, because of the setting that we're in, whether that's reading the Bible, like there's so much value in that. And so anyway, I mean, those things help.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot.
Yeah, God has become a very big, continued to just be a bigger and bigger theme in my life. And it's almost to the point now where it's like, and God, I'm sorry for even saying this, but it's like almost like I'm embarrassed as much as I bring it up. You know what I mean? Because the thing that always turned me and kept me away is people that want to push it on you. And they're always talking about it. But now I have all these things going on, and the only explanation I come up with, because it sure as fuck ain't me doing it, is this is God. And so like I sit there and see these things or say these things, and I'm like, oh, that's some God shit right there. And that's like, I feel corny for bringing it all up, but it is what it is.
Yep. Totally.
And so it's like, I can't deny this shit anymore, and you know what I mean? I'll just lean into it.
Yeah. No, and I love that you touch on that. I think it's important to recall that like there was a time whenever it was off-putting to you, because I needed to hear that when it was off-putting to me, in order for there to be like a glimmer of hope that maybe, because it was for both of us, right? It was desperation that got us to be like, okay, fine, I guess I'll be open to that idea, even though for me, I found it very off-putting. I remember from, hearing people talk about God whenever I was desperate, and I feel like my skin, like I was like a cat, with my back up in the air, whatever. It was just, I was like, don't do that. We could do a lot of different things. We don't got to do that, And then it's like, hey, you're going to pray every day, because you're not running the show anymore, because look what you did when you ran the show. You made a mess.
Right.
You made anyway. So I remember praying and looking up at the popcorn ceiling and seeing this bearded white robe thing. And it was just, I hated it. Right?
This bearded white robe.
Yeah,
thing.
the works. I mean, it was all of these old ideas and whatever. And so it's so funny, because now I go to a church, and that's a lot more palatable, and now that's a huge value add in my life. But that was a multi-year journey to arrive at the place where I could be open-minded enough to see the value in that experience. And it came from desperation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was speaking somewhere the other day, and I had told a story, and the whole point of the story was God, and there was one dude there, and he just like locked up and did that. And it's like people started speaking on it, and in recovery, it's like, and I was the same way. It's like, you can walk into anything and find everything you don't like about something and sit there and focus on that. Like, I'll pick apart anything. But like for me, the biggest, I was doing that is because I had no faith. Like I had no faith in anything. Now I have faith, and it's like I don't question those things. I just know what it is. And for somebody that doesn't get it and they don't understand, like I hear you. But
Did you see him loosen up at any point, or did he stay pretty locked up?
He stayed quiet the whole time.
Yeah.
You could tell he tuned me out as soon as I did that, but you know what I mean? I got another 20 guys sitting here. I'm not going to censor my story or whatever for that. I went and spoke at a Catholic school recently, and I talked about this on another episode, but they got upset I said the word needle. There was one woman, she was a teacher there, and she got upset I said the word needle.
Okay.
And the other woman came up and talked to me, and she had said that the woman had said that and all that, and I walk away with it, and you're like, we wonder why we have a problem in this country. Like, we're going to sit there and censor this conversation,
avoiding reality,
and bumper it, and we're not going to say the word needle. And then what, you think they're going to be educated enough to make those decisions when they get out there because they didn't hear the word needle? Like, I don't know, it's just bizarre to me.
No, it's insanity. That makes me think of your friend, your multiple time guest that was here earlier today, Rachel. I remember, so her substance preferences were different than mine to some degree. And so her experiences with pain meds, I believe, right?
She was crack, heroin, everything, I think.
Yeah. So whatever it was that she was, I think it was pills at that time was like a big part of her life. And I hope I'm getting that correct. She told a story online, and she's posted it multiple times, and it's gone super viral, which many of her things do, but this one like really, really did, right? And it was a very graphic storyline. You can maybe even think of what I'm talking about, of what happens with your ability to use the restroom whenever you are on those things for an extended period of time. And it was down to, having to use a spoon to get, so anyway, it's her story. But it was just like, I thought it was really important. Imagine if whenever you were in school, it's exactly what you just said, the needle thing, and you were told, oh, we didn't really, that made us uncomfortable. That's the point.
Right.
This isn't supposed to be comfortable. This kills people all the time. I almost died of it. How many times do you want so anyway, I mean, I don't know. I don't need to make decisions for anyone else, but I think shying away from what things really look like, what that actually looks like when that storyline plays out, it doesn't seem of service to me.
They bumpered it for me, and look what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wonder if it would have been a different probably wouldn't have been, but if it would have been a different conversation because they went about it a different way,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even, like, if I think back to the ways that they approach things in school, of whether it was, sex or drugs or anything, I don't know. I mean, nothing impactful happened, but It's been a long time, so I can't even remember exactly what they did do.
Right.
Yeah, not much.
How long do you have now?
4 years. A little over 4 years. Yep.
What's recovery look like for you today? In difference to when you first started?
Yeah. So I like the way that this was put from someone else that I heard say it. So I'll regurgitate there. They said, basically it's about 10% of my life. And so we'll just use a number. He said 10%, but it's the first 10%. And I really liked that. Yeah. So it is a non-negotiable that I do the things that I was taught to do when I first got sober. And so, I mean, what it looks like today is prayer, meditation, focus on God reliance, be a part of my community, help other women, receive help from others, tell on myself before I think I'm actually in trouble, make sure that people know what's going on with me, even if I don't think it's a problem yet. I mean, all of those different, and like have people expect you to be somewhere, like be committed to things. Yeah. And so that's what that looks like to me, is just what I was taught to do. I don't know. I just, whether I feel like it or not, kind of doesn't get to be a big part of it. My first mentor when I got sober, she said that our emotions do not dictate our actions, in reference to whether I showed up or not to work with her or anything like that. And that's been really useful to me, because very often I don't feel like going and doing something. And I love to think of it through the lens of its divine inconvenience. It's never convenient to go sit down with someone and work through their problems with them, whatever, right? It's always worth it. You've done it probably far more times than I have. And you always walk away happy you did, but you typically on the way there, or at least for me, I'm not just like jumping up and down, can't wait to go spend this time in this way, but that's it's just part of what I was taught to do. So I would say 10% is a random number, but either way, it's my life is very big outside of recovery.
Yeah.
But recovery is at the top of the food chain.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's a very good way to put it.
Yeah.
I might have to steal that.
Go for it. I took it from somebody else.
Yeah, it's cool how it kind of morphs and you can build on it and then you find other things to add into it. You know what I mean? It's like you get in there and your world just seems this big where it's just like, I got to do these meetings for fucking ever. Mm-hmm. And then it just kind of opens up and you realize there's more to it and you can go to therapy or meditation or discover, fitness and hobbies and shit like that. And it's like all that stuff is a part of my recovery. These are all fundamental tools. Even going through mental health stuff and it's like all that. I have the tools now. Right. I got high before because I didn't know what to do when I felt like this. Now I know I need to get by a community. I need to hit a meeting. I need to do this. I need to go to therapy. Mm-hmm. So I think we're in a cool time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. It's the whole thing. I love that you say that that's a part of your recovery because really you got that gift of getting to get sober and you're still sober today. And which is incredible if you have like sound effects like round of applause. Anyway, because it's a huge deal. But now you've been given access to so many more tools to help others, whether it's this tool right here, like now your ability to communicate your message and to communicate other people's message has just like, you fanned the flames of that. And so God gave you that, mm-hmm. and through your fitness stuff, like definitely, even right now for me with the current health journey that I'm on and the chronic illness situation that's now happened with me, which is as a health professional has been at some stages just felt very embarrassing. Mm-hmm. But anyway, with all of that, like there's such awareness for me that like, okay, God is giving me more tools to help more people. So maybe that's not through your recovery, whatever that but like, it's still very much a part of it.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
still part of it.
Totally.
It's just like,
my opinion.
Yeah, how I show up in the gym is how I show up in life. Mm-hmm. If that's not like a duality between like my recovery, because if I start falling off on that, I'm gonna start falling off on this, and this.
Yeah.
It's all part of it.
Yeah.
This is just what I do.
Right.
Just like you're saying, it's non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mind, body, spirit.
Yeah. It was funny. The gym has become such like a staple in my life where it's just my normal every day.
Yeah.
And it's like I wasn't getting that same dopamine, serotonin hit with the bodybuilding style workout. Uh-huh. Well, then I started going to do a little bit more like high rocks type things, or what would you call that? I
don't know what you're doing.
So like if you're going to do ski ergs and kettlebell swings and you're not doing CrossFit, what is it? Functional training?
You could call it CrossFit. I mean, if you look at what CrossFit is, maybe you're not doing all of the movements that are offered in a CrossFit setting, but that doesn't mean that it isn't CrossFit.
Right. Yeah. Well, it was cool because it opened up a whole new world of fitness because I'm like, oh, this is kind of like my running shit and the lifting shit mixed into one. Uh-huh. And then right around I started doing that. Then I saw High Rocks was a thing and I was like, what is that? I will fucking crush that shit. Let's go.
Have you done one yet?
No, I'm dying to do one though.
Are you going to do the one in Dallas?
When is it?
I think November, something like that.
I'll definitely do it.
October, November.
Should I team up? Should I do it single? What's the move?
It's more fun doubles.
Okay.
Depends on if you want to put your head through the wall by yourself or not. You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done 8 of them.
Have you?
Mm-hmm. I qualified for Worlds in 2022.
Did you really?
And I ran Worlds, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
High Rocks was a thing back then?
Yeah. Well, and it was a thing longer than that, but it was making its way into the United States.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, it was, in fact, before I actually stepped into the fitness industry for work, I had received an offer for a job from the High Rocks team. And so I had a conversation and they were wonderful, but I had never even been to one of their events.
Gotcha.
And so I was just like, well, the last thing I'm going to do is commit to like leave this very lucrative career that I had then to hop into something I'm not even familiar with yet. So let me just show up to one of your events. Let's start there, right? And then by then I had already grown a relationship with a brand that I was very sold on, that I wound up going down that path instead. But so my first High Rocks race was, I think it was March 2022. And I show up and I just look at the physiques, which this is, nobody ever said that when it comes to fitness that I make the smartest decisions, because that's not true. That like mitigation of injury risk, whatever. It's like depending on my mood. Anyway, so yeah, I just looked and I was like, if they can do this, I can do this. Mm-hmm. And so I just signed up for the Women's Pro and then ran the Women's Pro and had no idea like what the distance is or anything, the weights, you name it. And so I'd just like get to every station and be like, tell me how far you want me to go. Like, tell me when I can stop, And so with the judge or whatever was there. And then after that, it was not as competitive as it is now. I would not qualify today, not at all. But So anyway, they do the podium, and the guy, I knew the MC at the time, and anyway, he was like, called my name, and I was like in the back warm up area or whatever. I was like, I'm sorry, what? And he came back and got me. He was like, no, literally, you just qualified. And I was like, that's hilarious. So I did go run it, but like I said,
Your
my
first time
times.
out?
Yes. Yeah. So then like a month or two later, I didn't know if I was going to run it or not. And then I just so happened to have another event align in Vegas, and it was in Vegas that year. And so I reached out to that, like I sent an email and I was like, hey, late sign up. Could I still run it? And sure enough, they had my shirt. It has like the US flag with my name on it. It's so cool.
No shit.
And I'm telling, like, that was a year when it was less competitive. I am not a runner. I am not a fast runner. I'm a fit person, but I have not trained the running domain enough to be that good at it. And so my times would not qualify today. Huh?
How much running is it?
I think it's an 8K plus the rocks zone. So I think it maybe takes you, I don't know, maybe 9K, less than 6 miles in total.
Crush this shit.
Oh yeah, no, you've got to do it. It's so fun.
I will do it.
It's so fun. Yeah.
You posted something recently, and it was like your original gym picture, like when you first started lifting or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Look at her.
Yes.
Just a little string bean.
Yeah.
You were tiny.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Different human. Completely different.
Reverse aging is such a real thing. It's so cool. I was in my early 20s, and now I'm in my early 30s.
It's so nuts.
It's wild. It's just cool. I hope that that's an encouragement to anybody that like wants to take it seriously at any age. I mean, I literally was watching a video today with one of our masters athletes in the CrossFit space that has been around for a very long time. He's 69 years old. He's doing legless rope climbs. He's doing ring muscle ups. He's doing it all. No joke.
69?
69 years old. In that video, he squatted to depth, aka hip crease below knee crease, because in CrossFit, there is a very clear standard for squats. And if your hip crease has not gotten below your knee crease, that is a no rep. And so mind you, if we don't have those yet, we can work towards that, right? But we have very clear standards, and he hit 315. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it was Andrew Hiller. Hiller Fit is the name of the YouTube channel that was on. And that was kind of a cool storyline because Hiller makes a lot of controversial videos in this space, and he's a great creator in the space. But anyway, he came at this guy for his meeting standards for multiple videos. And then what do you know, now years later, they came together and created a video together. And like, cool. It was so cool. Yeah. So anyway, but still 69 years old doing all of those things. Point of telling that story is that anyone, like we just mentioned 20 years old string bean to 30, whatever, not a string bean anymore, right? Like you can start at any age and make crazy progress. And you see women in their 60s and 70s that are jacked. And for some of them, they only started a decade before, you know? So yeah, I hope that anybody that feels like it's inaccessible to them, let this be a reminder. Borrow my belief, you're capable because you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are, and the only reason I said string bean is just to give people to understand the drastic increase. Like, dude, you were still a very pretty girl back then. Not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, wow.
No, it's different. It's very different. Yeah.
Man, you're so lucky you have all that footage and stuff like that.
Yeah, I sadly deleted a crazy amount not long ago. Yeah, and I have yet to be able to get access to it again, which is really unfortunate. But it is cool that I have what I have. Yeah.
You downloaded it on or deleted it by accident or what? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you like, fuck?
Well, yeah, I deleted it from a device, and I didn't realize that I deleted it from all devices. So, yeah.
I try to find old phones, and I try to like pull my old shit out of there because I can only imagine the stuff. I probably have gold on there as far as like all my old addict shit. But
yeah, we should both probably just get somebody who's more savvy than us to help us to decide if that's actually really gone or not.
Do you know anybody
that could help with that?
Yeah,
I'm sure we could figure that out. Sure. Right. Yeah.
If you're listening to this, reach out.
Yeah. Literally, we both need help.
I need to find all my old druggy shit.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like now that I've been doing all the clips and stuff like that, a lot of people send me their old stuff, and so I can incorporate that stuff into the clips, and it paints such a vivid picture for people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the more of that you incorporate, to be honest, the more eyeballs it's going to get. I mean, I definitely have seen certain accounts, you already know that, but I see certain accounts that do very graphic, like it's a huge part of their brand and it's a recovery brand ultimately. And they incorporate a large amount of videos of their guests or whoever it is that they're featuring. I don't know if they do podcasts, but it's more so just content creation, short form content creation. But a huge part of it is the videos of those people when they're out of their minds, when they're not doing well, to who they are today. And I mean, it performs really well, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full transformations.
It's crazy.
When is the official date? Do we have one?
Wedding?
Yeah.
No.
No?
We're gonna go next weekend and look at venues for the first time, so that'll hopefully help us narrow it down.
We doing it big?
I wanted no, not big, not small, not big. We'll see. Of course, money is a big component to this because I got sober and then I made a giant mess of my finances for the first time in my adult life after the fact. So you clean up one area and then you make a mess in another, you know?
Yeah.
Humanity. Anyway, so I'm still trying to clean up that mess while also dealing with this whole chronic illness thing that is just costs money. So we will get through all of it. There is faith. But anyway, yeah, we'll look at venues. And I think that guest list, we have a general idea. It was funny. I did my like non-negotiable guest list and asked him to do the same. And his was 4 times the size of mine.
Really?
Yes, which is not even large. Mine was just really small.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll see what we wind up with. But right now we're looking at venues that'll host roughly 150 guests. So
Good.
Yeah, and we'll see what we wind up with. But
Does he have a brother?
No.
There was some dude that I think is related to him, or I don't know. He was wearing all jiu-jitsu stuff. He was sitting in front of me, and then it was him, his wife, and a little boy at the wrestling thing.
Oh yeah, they have 2 little boys. That's not his brother. That's like one of his mentors here.
Okay.
He owns a jiu-jitsu gym.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, Mark Price.
I didn't realize this happened until after the fact, but my wife went to turn around, and I think she swung her arm and hit the kid in the face.
Oh no.
And so I didn't know any of this happened until left. And so we're walking out, and she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I did that to that little kid." I was like, "What little kid?" She's like, "The people sitting in front of us." I was like, "Yo, that dude had a jiu-jitsu shit on from head to toe. Like, don't go hitting this. What are you doing?"
Yeah, the kids do jiu-jitsu too. That's hilarious.
I was like, I'm pretty sure he's related to Jimmy. Let me find out you were hitting Jimmy's relatives or something like that.
That's funny. No, we definitely feel like they're family though, as far as like they've been great with Jimmy this whole time. And anyway, yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When's the next match? Anything coming up?
Yeah, he has one next weekend, and so it'll, I guess, probably be after, or this podcast will probably come out afterwards, but that would be May, I'm going to get this wrong, I think like 16th, something like that, in Arizona, May 17th in Arizona, and then I think his next one here in Austin, I believe, is in June, and I'm not sure the exact date, but that would be at Rhodes Wrestling Association, which for anyone interested, they can always find those on their Instagram page.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there for
sure. Come back when I'm actually there.
I'm for sure.
Yeah.
I got to keep shooting my shot at Dustin. I'm not giving up yet.
I was going to say, yeah, like I love the idea of that. So
I told you the whole Hulk Hogan thing because there's a dude named Trip.
Yeah.
And I saw him at the Hulk Hogan thing, and he was the first person I saw, and I was like, "Yo, I just seen you wrestle the other day."
Then I'm not thinking of the right Trip.
It's not Trip. He's the biggest dude that wrestles for them.
Oh, Hit. Yes.
It was him.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. We're supposed to catch a lift in the gym.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's like recently been voicing some interest in CrossFit, so I'm calling you out. You doing CrossFit or what?
Oh, I'm gonna have to clip this up and send it to him.
Yeah.
The public call out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna call everyone out to it. That's what I was literally editing on my way here, a video where it's like it was me doing the workout today, right? But I'm like, reasons I do CrossFit. And so it's me doing something that I like have the capacity to do today, which is so incredible, right? Mm-hmm. Because I would have never sought that skill on my own if I didn't show up to classes that taught me how to do it. Right. But then we in Georgetown, where I do my CrossFit training, we have a good bit of like senior population. There's a retirement community nearby. Anyway, so a lot of our population, even in the gym, is in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I don't know about 80s. I'm not going to rule it out. I'm just not sure. Right. But anyway, it said that in the video, I'm like, another reason. And it's all these like arrows pointing at these different people who are doing scaled variations of everything. And it's just like, it's so cool. I don't know. I think that the conception that people have about what it is, because of what they see online versus what it is in an actual facility, are often two very different things.
For sure.
Yeah.
I want to come to a competition.
Yeah, I
Wanna come check
won
one
one
out?
like a month ago.
Did you won one?
It was in Liberty Hill. I told Amy, but I think she had something going on. But it was literally where she lives. I was
Oh.
like, you should come. But she probably had something going on. She's a busy girl.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Well, let us know in the next one. We'll bring the whole squad.
Yeah, we got to figure out what's going on with my nervous system, immune system, whatever. So as of right now, I would like to do like on my, because at the beginning of the year, I take my coaching group through goal setting, affirmation building, and it's not woo-woo, it's very specific and not, anyway, it's awesome. It's called the Breakthrough Blueprint. And if anybody who's watching this wants me to send it to them, I spent a lot of time building it out and I would be happy to send it to you for free.
Okay.
So yeah, but anyway, all of that. So in there, I have to compete 3 times this year in a CrossFit competition. And so I did one and that was great. And then right now I'm just having to like be mindful of how much I throw at my nervous system given the,
So when you go for your average workouts, if you're just going for your everyday workout, is it always a CrossFit workout or is there some days where you're just going and lifting weights? And
Totally.
It is?
Yeah. I'd say I do 2 to 4. So let's say 3 straight up resistance training sessions per week, which is where I'm going and doing upper body or lower body, whatever. And I am taking 3+ minutes of rest in between sets for my large muscle groups, 2+ minutes rest in between sets for my smaller muscle groups, et cetera. Bottom line is there are 2 to 4, let's say 3 sessions per week that I am not jacking with my heart rate a ton. And I'm not working on my fitness in that way, although it just helps beautifully because I need to get stronger so that I can perform better at those things. And so that's like on bodybuilding equipment, on isolation machines, things like that, not just those. But anyway, there's those sessions and then 2 to 4 workouts at a CrossFit facility. And so it's also very greatly because one day that'll just be a 5x3 of power cleans, so it's like not much. And then some days it'll be a 30-minute AMRAP where you go for 30 minutes continuously and do rope climbs and toes to bar and handstand walking and all these fun, cool skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, I love it.
Are you guys are both over at camp now, right? Same gym? Work?
Yeah, I know things change a lot. No, I work at Los Campeones. He works at Iron Forge and Big Tex right now.
Oh, so he left. So he was there and then not there now?
Yeah. For him, it just made more sense in this season based on where his clients are and so on. He has great relationships over at Iron Forge and Big Tex, and it works for his clients well enough. And every place that you train does, there's different structures there, but you don't just get to do that stuff for free.
Right.
And so it's made sense for us right now, or at least like for me to stay at Los Campeones to work with my clients, and then for him to go to those places to work with his.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Iron Forge.
Yeah, it's actually, they've got a lot of new equipment. It's pretty cool.
Bodybuilder, powerlifter gym?
It's got a good bit of a mixture. It's a pretty large space, actually. So they have a huge MMA training area.
Where's
And
this
it's
at?
actually really popular. Iron
Oh,
Forge?
is that the one Big Tech's opened?
Yes.
That's the other one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The owner of Big Tex partnered with some Twitch streamers.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I know that one of them, Knut, I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. He trains with Jimmy relatively often, and he is like, I don't actually really know him. He's come to his match before, but their chemistry together when they train together, like I love seeing it because it seems, that stuff matters. Like who you train with matters. And so I love getting to see them training together because it looks like they're both having a good time and pushing hard and so on. But anyway, yeah, so they partnered with Twitch streamers, and so that's what they're doing.
I'm going to have to come check it out up there.
It's cool.
It's north, right?
It is north.
Right.
Yep. It's like
check it out.
Basically Round Rock.
Right.
It's north. Yeah.
Well, Claire, I can't thank you enough for braving this traffic and making it all the way down here to San Antonio. I love talking to you always. We always have great conversations.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you want to touch on? Anything you want to promote? Anything you need to tell the people?
It might be worth noting that I've kind of like hinted at it throughout this, but with what I said about the whole chronic illness thing and so on.
I didn't know if you wanted to get into it, so I didn't know.
Yeah, that's okay. But I think that it's definitely, I have been a creator online for a number of years now, and a coach now in person for a number of years as well, and have the coaching business and where I work with people on nutrition and on obviously their fitness. I do their programming, etc. And of course the mindset, the Breakthrough Blueprint is entirely designed to like what's happening in here because we need this thing to get on board, to get this thing to get on board. So this has been an interesting season where thanks to stress on the body, in my case, environmental toxins, not saying there weren't other stressors present, but that one's kind of what sent it over the edge for me. I now developed a chronic illness that we are working through overcoming. And so it's been an interesting last year and a half. I told you about this before we started recording, but like the videos last year, right? Like I remember seeing those and being like, well, I don't know what's wrong, but something's wrong. Like it's visibly wrong. And even still, we talked about it. I've got hives. We've got some sort of dark circles / red eye, whatever.
Can't even see them.
Yeah, it's fine. But anyway, the point of bringing that up, I guess, is that like I'm going to continue to do my best through this season of life where I'm now, I think when I first got sick and I found the mold and then I moved out. And so I thought, okay, I moved out of the problem. I'm taking binders. I'm doing certain things. I'm sweating. It's going to be all good. And then I wound up making some headway and then taking some huge steps back and getting a lot more sick. And then now coming to understand how when your body has really been overwhelmed with stress, that's my flavor of it, but nonetheless, all of the different parts of the body that it impacts, whether it's, of course, the gut, the immune system, which largely lives in the gut, not only there, but anyway, the limbic system of the brain, like there's just even the systemic inflammation in my body, which I've lost over 15 pounds of just inflammation in the last year. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And it was, when it was going on, it was like, well, I'm a person who is a nutrition coach. I know what's going in and this is not adding up. So to have to walk through that, like I said, it felt embarrassing when I didn't know what was going on. But I'm hopeful that through taking this more seriously and working with functional medicine and doing the things that I'm doing now, that I can just be transparent about that online. And so for anyone listening that has health struggles, yes, sure, I am this personal trainer and nutrition coach and all those things, and I can help with those things, but I'm really excited in a way to have to dive so deep on chronic illness to be able to help more people. Because in my mind, chronic illness was something that was farther out there. It was for people who have lived multiple decades of their lives and not prioritized their fitness, their nutrition, et cetera. Those are not me. But here I am in a situation in my early 30s dealing with chronic illness and realizing that that's a lot more common than I thought. So anyway, I think that's really like, I want to be a beacon of hope for those people, and I'm going to be willing to do the work to make that happen, and I will do my best to share that along the way. So I like want people to know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
That's good.
What are you excited about? You're excited about this. What are you trying to like? Where are you trying to take this? What's your primary goal with this?
With I Am Redemption?
Yep.
Community.
Okay.
Just keep building community. At first, it started off as a podcast, and it's morphed into something else now.
Okay. What do you mean by community? Like, get specific.
So we're doing, we had this really cool thing where we had Sobriety. It was
I think I have some friends that went to that. If I'm thinking of the right event, which I think I am, I heard great things.
There was two of them. They were both good. I was at both of them.
Okay.
One was an I Am Redemption one. The other, I Am Redemption, Atomic Souls. The other one was a Recovery Takeover.
Yes, that's what I heard great things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of people that I've met through social media that actually flew in and came to it, and they came in. We did a ruck march. We all bonded over that. And then we were at the thing. We did a workout. We did a video, and we've just all stayed together. And everyone just keeps looking at each other like, how do we keep this going? How do we keep this going? Yeah. And so the communities continue to build, and we support each other online. We support each other in person. We got meetings every other Saturday, and then more people keep getting added. And so now,
the meetings every other Saturday, are they in person and online? Are they just like, what are they right now?
We're all over the country. So right now it's just finding how we can network, finding how we can support each other. Cool. Because it was like, I think you'll resonate with this, but so I got sober and it wasn't enough. Like I wasn't content just being sober and then just going on to live a life. My aspirations were still so much higher. I had this internal drive that I had to make up for lost time, and I had to put it somewhere. Yep. And so this is what I'm doing. Mm-hmm.
I think well, you know that it does. You know that resonates so deeply with so many people because they get sober, and that's all like, it makes so much sense. And I'm so glad that you're telling people that, because people who have gotten sober, who haven't figured out where they're going to dump their energy yet, are feeling that at such a deep level. Mm-hmm.
And so we got around each other, and I don't know, I'll speak for myself. There's a lot of times where I feel like I'm fucking crazy. Like I look around at other people and it's like, I must be fucking nuts because nobody else, like, what is the fuck is wrong with me? Yeah. And it's like, I found, you know what I mean? I meet someone like you, it's like, oh, my people. Yeah. And then it's like, we all found.
Are you saying I'm crazy?
we're all kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
no, I'm crazy for sure.
When we're willing to take ourselves to physical limits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On a fucking random Saturday morning at 6 a.m. or some shit.
Yeah, for no good reason.
But we got around each other, and it was just like, all right, we found each other, and then we continue to find more people through social media and online. And so, you know, my whole plan and my goal is, you know, I have some things in the works, but I want to, you know, live events and start doing where if we a bunch of us, we're all going out to LA in June, and so doing a pop-up workout, inviting everybody out, everybody's followers, or a pop-up run, doing stuff like that, but doing live events. I want to do cool shit in the recovery community. You know, it's cool, you go to meetings, you go to this, but like I want to do dope shit. I want to show people you can have fun and live your dream even though you're fucking sober. It's not if anything is a superpower, it's not really a hindrance.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I love that. I think that community is such a popular term today. And so I'm always like, what does that exactly mean? And I think maybe that's just because of my bias in the worlds that I work in, live in. And so I'm like, you know, what does that tangibly mean? And so I love the idea that it's like we come together, we get to know each other, we do stuff in person. That's awesome.
Well,
that's
like
cool.
Everybody out there who feels like you're alone in the world, even though you're around people, you're alone in a crowded room. It's like people have felt like that. It's like, we're over here. You found your people.
Yeah.
And it's a special thing when you can get around a bunch of like-minded people who genuinely want to see the group win. And they don't come into it like, what can I get out of this? It's like, what can I do to help this group?
Yeah.
And then everybody just fucking goes up like that. And so it's, you know, we've had a couple people try to jump into the group that they're trying to, you know, selfish means or something like that. And they get weeded out pretty quick. It's just because we take this we know we got each other, we take it serious, and we're going to build it. So we'll see what happens. And then they're talking about making the documentary into a movie right now. There's all types of weird shit going on.
That's awesome.
It's very crazy.
Your documentary that I watched after we first met. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. They got the locations. They're gathering the funding right now. They put out the offers to the actors.
Oh my gosh.
Everything. We've been having meetings with a studio that just said they were going to, guarantee distribution and all that. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I said on the episode with Rachel, and I talked with you earlier about how understanding how like God's architect and all this, and I can see that now. And it's really like God was preparing me with the documentary, and He got me prepared for this process. Because back then it was such an emotional roller coaster.
Right.
Is this going to happen? Or, you know, we film and then they edit for 3 months, and I don't see him and I don't hear from him. It was like an emotional thing to be going through it a year sober.
Yeah.
And so now to be here, and it's just like, I just enjoy the moment. It's just like the fact that this is even a conversation, I'm fucking cool.
Yeah. That's insanely cool.
Yes.
I hope they tell those dark moments very, very, you know what I mean? Like, I hope that they don't shy away like we talked about.
No, he leans in. So
yeah, that's awesome.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I just want to keep doing cool shit with cool people and just continue to find the other like-minded people who want to rise together and do this shit.
We got options. We're very blessed where we are.
Yeah.
For sure.
Claire, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Please tell Jimmy I said hello.
Can we do one more thing?
Absolutely. We can do whatever you want.
Sorry. I like to finish with gratitudes.
Let's do it.
Can I just like hijack for a second?
Go do it.
And we'll just do 3 things that we're grateful for today. I have not thought about this at all, so this is going to be great. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Whatever. Do you need time to think?
No, I don't care.
Go ahead.
Okay. My 3 gratitudes today. I love doing this. It's so funny because Jimmy has to do it with me every week now, and he's like, but he does love it. Okay, so my 3 gratitudes today are going to be that the past 2 weeks that I have had a better run of health through some massive changes. And so just the cognitive, like having a clear enough mind to be able to sit here and have this conversation and to not be in so much anxiety and fear and so on. So I'm grateful for progress there and the like faith to know that more progress is on the table and discipline will take you really far. I am grateful for, we have talked about him a ton, but I am really grateful for Jimmy. I say all the time. In fact, it was actually just last week that I picked up, or that I celebrated 4 years. And so I was telling my community about that. And I'm like, you know, today I'm engaged to a man that would have wanted nothing to do with me before I got around this, you know, and actually got sober and learned a different way to live, you know, that it was accessible to me and that you guys were going to reteach me how to do life in a far more effective way. So anyway, I'm grateful for him for his passion and his drive and his pursuits and how much he inspires me. It's insanely cool. And then my third gratitude will just simply be that we could align and bring this together, and that you're having me back again. Like, that's, I really appreciate it.
Of course.
It's good to see you. And so just grateful
Always.
to be here.
Always.
Yeah.
Those were great ones.
Okay. They're what I got.
So I don't want to get in trouble. So I'm going to start off with my wife.
Smart.
Right. No, but the way what we talked about at the beginning of like being able to have that balance, and the fact that when she met me, I wasn't doing this. She didn't sign up for all this stuff going on. Yep. You know what I mean? I was in pretty much chill mode when I met her. So,
well, and how many years ago was that?
Almost 5-ish.
Yeah. So
5.
Everything I said was from a perspective of someone who's been with my partner for a year and a half, you know, like I haven't yet gone through those seasons of change yet, you know? So anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So she's absolute one. The second one, I'm going to say my dogs, because I said it in the last episode, but I didn't know it was possible to love animals like this. I thanked my wife the other day, and both of the dogs right here, and I was just like, thank you for doing this. Like, I can't believe I went my whole life without this. And thirdly, I'll say I'm thankful for friends like you. Just busy people that I know are out doing incredible things, but that I can call up, and at the drop of a dime, you show up, much like we do. And so I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it. I just wasn't in a mood for that.
That was perfect. No, that was good. That made me warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
So the way we like to wrap up the episode.
Yes.
Maybe if I don't know if you've been thinking about it on your way down here, but if you would take a look in your camera, maybe throw out a couple I am statements.
Okay.
I'll let them know who you are.
The one I said the first time is still true. So I'll say that one, but you said a couple, so I'll snag another, and I haven't.
Do you want to use the first one? We'll just put, what was the first one?
Well, yeah, I am joyful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am joyful too.
2?
Is that what you want to go with?
T-O-O?
No.
I can do 2 different ones. You said I am 2. I can do 2 different ones.
You do 20 if you want.
Oh, no, I don't need to do that.
As many as you want.
Well, maybe I'll just do the one again. It could be the same again.
All right. So am I going to put a 2 by it though?
I don't know.
Part 2.
See, now I've overthought it. I did think this morning, I was like, he's going to have the I am statement. And I am joyful is still true. But should I have a different one this time, or should I just stick with it? But no, I like that one.
All right. I might have to put 2, because if they Google I am redemption Claire Bays, then 2 is going to pop up.
So do you want me to
2
do
I am
something?
joyfuls.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Do you want me to give a different one?
Or I could just I am joyful.